Who was I before I started working out? I had really low self-esteem. I didn't really realize it because I masked my lack of confidence in other things. Living in Brooklyn, but I had really low self-esteem, and that poured into my love life, a toxic relationship. He would just be verbally abusive, just disrespectful, and that's who I was dealing with at the time. And I thought that was love, and it just wasn't. And I didn't truly love myself, and that was something that I realized I needed to do. So one day, he goes on vacation. We were arguing before he went, and he goes away on a cruise with his family every year, and he went that year, and he just didn't speak to me the whole cruise, and I was just so confused. I spent 2 weeks just miserable, crying, like, why isn't he talking to me? I called all his family members, no one would answer the phone, and he comes home, and he just says, I can't do this anymore, and I'm just like, what? Like, we've been together for 2 years, why would you do that to me? Just heartbroken about it. So he does that, and I have his Facebook password because I didn't trust him, and I go through his messages, and this girl is talking about performing fellatio on him on the cruise. So I'm just like, you were cheating on me in front of your whole family on the cruise? So it was just a mind fuck, and I just felt like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, that was my whole life, this relationship. Like, I was in school and I had a job, but that was the only part of my life that made me happy at the time, and it was pitiful. So I remember when he broke up with me, I ran downstairs to my mom. My mom was talking to my dad. My parents were separated at the time, but they're friends. So I just am talking to both of my parents, like, crying, just heartbroken. I started going to therapy. My parents were like, therapy. So I went to therapy. I went to like 2 sessions at the time. I'm in therapy now, but when I was 19, I went to a few sessions, and I just remember her repeating. I was just repeating like the things we've done and the things he did, and my therapist was just like, he doesn't love you. And I realized for me to accept that, I don't really love myself. So I started doing cardio at Export. I worked at the mall on Long Island. And after my shift at work, since like my friends were away at school, I had stayed home for school. So I would just get on the treadmill with my friend Adriana. Shout out to Adriana. Sometimes by myself, and just walk on an incline. And I did that for like a month straight, and I just felt like I would just get all my thoughts out when I was doing my cardio, and I would just like cry on there sometimes because I would still have to see my ex, and then he would walk around the mall because we both worked in the mall with that new girl. And eventually people started complimenting me and telling me like, oh my god, I see differences. Like, my butt, I guess, got perkier and like bigger just from me like activating my glutes and doing the treadmill on the incline so like intensely. I would do it for 20 minutes and just sweat. Like, it was amazing. And I started lifting a little bit, like using the machine, so that was awesome. But I was just someone who just didn't love themselves enough. I equated my confidence and my happiness, and I put in another person, and I poured and poured and poured into that person, and I got nothing in return. I got heartache. So it taught me a lesson really early on, like, I gotta love myself, and I gotta pour into myself, because I won't let myself down. And not to say like to not pour into another person, but make sure it's reciprocated and make sure it makes sense. Don't go crazy being desperate for love, which is something I did when I was a teenager, and I had to understand where that stemmed from. My relationship with my dad, just kind of looking for certain things in other people, but a lot of things I was looking for a long time, I realized I had within myself. This is also me at 26. I've been on a spiritual journey. I really big on my my beliefs, and that's like one of the biggest aspects of my life, my spirituality, and that is, you know, what I live by. So, but at 19 I didn't exactly know this, but I did know I didn't love myself. I needed to be more confident. I needed to be more secure within myself, and I needed to keep working out because it was making me feel good and it was really helping my confidence. My 20s so far have been about really building myself up and truly loving myself and truly being confident, and not just a false sense of confidence but genuine confidence. I say this today, but the things I want to accomplish and sustain, I'm going to need to be really secure within myself and really confident, because people will try to shake you, or you will just feel like you're inadequate for some of the things that you can achieve or the things that you have. But you really got to be firm in yourself, and that's how you don't get eaten up in this world. You really got to be firm. That's how you also help other people, when you're secure within yourself. And that's how you enjoy love. When you're secure in yourself, you can really enjoy it without irrational fears. Because if you have someone who's great, but you're constantly feeling invalidated because you feel insecure, you know what I mean? You can't even truly enjoy it. So confidence and really taking the time to be confident outside of your looks is something I learned. Regardless, I love how I look, of course, but just learning to be confident outside of all that, like all the, what's the word, the false or the shallow things that like we uphold in this world is just super important. So I've just been on this journey. I was really insecure, and fitness really helped my confidence. Therapy, being self-reflective, sometimes sitting in solitude. I really think things through emotionally a lot. I'm really self-reflective, and I do that in the shower. I will think something through. So if I feel a way about something, I'm usually like, why do I feel that way? Where does that stem from? I recognize where it stems from, and I backtrack and I say, okay, how can I correct it? How do I not feel this way? What do I need to affirm myself to know that this is irrational? And I can take accountability that way and move forward and have healthy relationships with not only my friends, but, you know, the person I love, and, you know, my family and myself. So that's super important. But it all started with me being heartbroken at 19 and being lost and finding fitness as a coping mechanism, because I was really depressed, and that was who she was. But this is who I am. It's lit.